can't escape from a criminal mind. Eat that biscuit and walk that line. A cop on a donut don't need a gun. Some people think that crime is fun. Billy Ray Cyrus got a mullet on. Trans Am blocked in a trailer zone. Shoot that man, run him out of town. Maggots take the body now. War, 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 war.
Your mom.
Ha! Take that, lunatic. Your video wasn't the last video on Marcus. I'm Win. So context, Nintendo did a review of the 2017 Spider-Man cartoon. Let's just say it wasn't all that positive, which led to Marcus Yamamoto covering that video in a series he does called Spidey Response. It was fucking terrible. That video was then covered by a commentary group called Acronym, featuring the commentators Kirby Star Warrior and Keyblade Master, which led to Marcus making a... well, I think I'll just show you as we go along. Now that you're up to speed, let's go.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Scarlet Spider Response, in a brand new format with custom chibi art. Today, we're going to be covering the response video made by Acronym, and of course, addressing some of the issues within the video.
Wait, isn't that the same video I hit a long time ago?
Yes, but we'll do it better, so fuck off!
Good luck with that, Beyblade man. I'm gonna hit the slots.
I may reuse some footage from the last episode because I don't like repeating myself.
Hey, yeah, Mr. Spider-Man, man, what was the point of putting that clip from Acronym's video there? Like, it didn't really connect to you saying that you'll be reusing some clips, so you really didn't need to put it there. You could have easily removed the clip and it wouldn't have changed anything whatsoever.
Well, I regret life.
I think you meant to say, wow, Marcus, that was an amazing song cover. What a way to start off the video.
No. Like, what? He literally just said, well, I regret life, as a joke. If he wanted to say that your intro was good, he wouldn't have went ahead and said it. Not even helped by the fact that Key goes into his problems right after you cut back to him, so literally at this point it's absolutely fucking pointless. And points without points is something that we don't want. It would be like Tibby without the cute art, or Ina without the things that make her a good friend.
Okay, let me pick apart the two major issues I find with this thing. First off, there's the length. Like, I get you're an OG Spider-Man fan, but this drags on for almost 40 seconds, which could have easily been shorted by half the length. I also have issues with the second half of said song, where you decide to go baritone, resulting in the music overpowering your voice like you're living with a mariachi band. Wait, actually that sounds pretty cool. Can we have that instead of this shit show?
Okay, well, how about I make a better one then?
Yeah, how about we not watch Marcus's attempt at an intro and just tackle the point at hand? Cool. Cool. See, this is something that Marcus is known for doing, where he thinks that fixing something in the video after the fact changes anything within the original video itself, which isn't the case, Marcus. Like, cool, you're fixing it now. That doesn't change how your intro in the original video was still shit, and trying to make it better in this video doesn't excuse that.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
These moron. These moron.
I'm kind of a casual Spider-Man fan. I haven't read any of the comics.
Just remember this for later. You're probably gonna need it.
Spoilers, this point isn't going to debunk anything.
Major spoilers, it kinda is.
Hey, you might not want to be so confident about that.
But I know all the basics about the characters and storyline.
There's more to that than meets the eye, okay?
Except Nintendo never implied that wasn't the case. He was simply talking about how much he knew about the franchise.
Yeah, let's all just assume what he said and just shove words into his mouth without consent.
If Nintendo is not very knowledgeable about Spider-Man, then he's gonna make idiotic criticisms which will make him look like a retard.
Cool, fantastic, fucking amazing, 10 out of 10, let's shove it on my ass again. How in the hell does this debunk their point? Your point in the original video was, oh, there's more to the characters than meets the eye, when Nintendo never even denied that. He just said he knew the basics of the characters in the franchise, and your rebuttal to that is just saying, if he doesn't know much about it, it's gonna make him look dumb. Which dodges Kirby's point entirely. Like, come on, Marcus. This is a video. This is no time for dodgeball.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
Whoa, 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 hold the fuck up. Okay, holy fuck, Marcus. When the absolute 69 regions of hell made you think this was a good idea, you speed certain sections of the video up to such an obnoxious degree to the point where most people will not be able to understand what the fuck is being said. You can speed it up, but just don't do it to the point where it's incomprehensible. Like, Marcus, if I wanted to listen to Rap God, I would have listened to Rap God. Though, to be fair, that would be a lot better to listen to than your fucking video. So for now, I'll be placing back the original degrees and speeding up to only a good amount.
I haven't really seen any of the Spider-Man cartoons outside of a few episodes of the 90s animated series ages ago, but apparently Disney had my back because they just launched a new Spider-Man animated series, only 7 months after the previous one ended, simply titled Spider-Man, or Marvel Spider-Man if you don't feel like calling it Spider-Man 2017. I'm really starting to hate this common trend of reboots that share the same name as the originals, since now you have to differentiate each property using the year that it came out in. Come to think of it, that's actually the only problem I have with the DuckTales reboot so far.
They're doing that because they want to go back to their old roots. Don't you get it? God, you're so stupid.
Okay, great. Now, how's that make the lazy title not a problem? Since just because a show is going back to its original roots doesn't mean it's an excuse to come up with a lazy title, because fun fact, you can go back to your old roots while changing the title.
But it does have a different title. It's called Marvel Spider-Man. Not to be confused with the PS4 game. I prefer calling that Insomniac Spider-Man, because they're treating this game as its own IP.
I mean, the Marvel part isn't really something that makes a title different. Like, brand names typically don't get lumped into the title itself, so it would more than often be called Spider-Man regardless if it has Marvel in front of it or not, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't change much. Assuming it was a part of the title, of course. And given the amount of other titles that Spider-Man reincarnations have, like the Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man Unlimited, basically fucking anything that differentiates the titles at least a little, it shows that there are a lot more things to call a show based around Spider-Man. And while I'm on that note, Ultimate Spider-Man also has a Marvel in front of the title, so really, even if it was a part of the title, you could make the argument that the Marvel part doesn't automatically make an inherently different title. Man, all these times I'm saying title, good god. Hell, that's ignoring how Keyblade goes on to list examples of other incarnations of shows with different titles. They just so happen to skip over so those watching wouldn't know that.
Like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, for instance, as that anime is a retelling of the manga storyline, yet didn't use the exact same name of the original manga and anime. Or heck, what about What's New Scooby-Doo, which is just the old formula of the mystery gang going from place to place solving mysteries.
Overall, what you're doing with this interjection is the equivalent of listening to a Broken Side album. It's bad and shouldn't exist.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
But let's pretend that a show going back to its roots means that it automatically has to have the same name. You do know that doesn't mean he has to like it, right? Just because there's a reason behind the name choice, it doesn't mean the issue magically goes away, nor does it mean he can't have a problem with it.
Well, if Nick doesn't like it, then he should just watch Batman!
Fucking astounding. We got the epitome of arguing right here, bitches. Marcus destroyed the god of argumentation, and he says my sarcasm now. In all seriousness, however, Marcus, your point doesn't do shit to Kirby's point. His point was that just because there's a reason for the show having an uncreative title, that doesn't mean that Nintendo has to like it, since it's only a reason and not an excuse. Then you come in and say, well, if he doesn't like it, he should go watch Batman! Which doesn't debunk anything that Kirby said, it only focuses on a small bit of what he said.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
We have the typical Spidey origin story, where Peter Parker is an average kid that no one understands until he gets bitten by a radioactive spider and his life gets flipped upside down. Check it out, I flipped the image on screen upside down to correspond with when I said upside down. I'm like the best editor in the world.
First off, that is Spider-Man's exact origin, okay? That's the exact same origin that we've heard over 1,000 times.
Yes, it is. That's why he said it was the typical origin story.
And for me, I never get tired of hearing that. No matter how you change it up, I'll always love it.
Okay, that's nice, but just because you like hearing Spider-Man's origin story over and over doesn't mean it can't be an issue for Nintendo to point out, since seeing the same origin over and over with nothing to twist it around can get really tiring for people like Nintendo.
You have a point, but I do like seeing some minor changes to the origin, because I enjoy comparing and contrasting what they did differently, and if it was good or not. The only series that adapts Spidey's origin 100% is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. With a few minor changes here and there, but it's still true to its form. A lot.
Good for you, I guess, though I do have to ask, what does this actually debunk? Like, Keith's point was that just because you like hearing the origin story, that doesn't mean Nintendo isn't allowed to dislike the amount of times that the origin story is retold. What you said more or less expands on what you said in the original video rather than actually debunking Keith's point.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
And secondly, I'm the best editor in the world! Look what I can do!
Spider-Man! Out of
Fucking
nowhere.
Making a montage that pays tribute to the 2012 Countdown community doesn't make you a good editor by any stretch of the word.
Well, you're just jealous that I'm a better editor than you are. Especially since I've been making compilation videos for over 2 years with 101 videos. And that's not even counting the shitpost I've made. What have you guys done? You've only made 8 videos! And even for you, Kirby Star Warrior, the amount of videos that you made is less than mine!
First off, Keyblade's audio duck was a joke, especially given how it was worded paying tribute to the 2012 Countdown community, so congrats, you took a joke seriously. Second, going off the assumption that this was a point and not a joke, there would still be a serious problem with what you actually said. Just because you have been doing videos longer and you have more videos than Key and Kirby, that doesn't automatically mean that you're a good editor. By that logic, Nicholas C. Miranda is a better editor than you, given how he has over 1,000 videos. Meanwhile, you only have a little bit over 700 videos, at least at the time of scripting. But try and watch his fucking screen recorded videos and try to tell me that he's the best editor ever or some shit. Point is, vid count or time spent on YouTube doesn't mean shit when it comes to the discussion. Stop it, you're being dumb. Even though I know for a fact that you're not gonna stop it.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
Though the movie handles the murder of Uncle Ben a million times better than the series does.
Jesus fucking Christ, what are you, Batman?
I'm guessing that you're accusing him of wanting everything to be dark and gloomy, which in that case, no, not really. You can prefer the way a character dies in one work compared to another while not wanting everything to be grim and melodramatic.
Well, I have two things to point out. So number one, Nintendo said that the movie handles Uncle Ben's death better. In the original comics and cartoons of the origin before Marvel's Spider-Man, there was never a scene where Uncle Ben was shown getting shot by the murderer and Peter crying over his dead body. Again, Nintendo is inexperienced in the Spidey mythos, making his claims invalid, and only comparing the movies, which is on a different level from the cartoons. And secondly, the fact that Nintendo says that Uncle Ben's death in the movie was way better shows how much of an edgy idiot he is, because he thinks he's Batman. He's following the BS philosophy that all superheroes need to be mature and edgy.
That doesn't mean he wants everything to be grim and melodramatic by default, though. That just means he prefers Ben's death to one reincarnation than the other. Hell, he even goes on to elaborate on the statement right after this interjection, with him explaining how the tone changes from lighthearted to dramatic quickly, something that we can infer from what he said doesn't happen in the movie. So no, you're not convincing us of anything.
As his introduction and death are within 5 minutes of each other, and the tone suddenly switches from fairly lighthearted to super dramatic in a heartbeat. Seeing Peter struggle with his superpowers and figure out the best ways to use them is a huge part of his story and character, but within 2 episodes, he's got everything figured out.
No, he's not. He's still trying to learn how to be a superhero. God fucking damn it.
What Nintendo was saying is that Peter's management of how to use his powers, which isn't inherently the same as having no struggles with learning how to be a superhero, by the way, was a big part of his character, and the reboot pretty much solved that issue within 2 episodes, thus garnered possible character development. Nintendo set this point blank, and yet it managed to somehow fly over your head.
Along with that, gonna do anything to back up that claim, Marcus? Any clips to show proof of that, or at the very least, any examples of moments where he was still struggling with being a hero? No? You're just gonna say that's the case and leave it at that? Well, guess I can just say, no he's not, he hasn't had any struggles with being a superhero, to counter your point and leave it at that, right?
Can we just say his video is objectively bad, then go home?
I get the feeling that you guys didn't watch any of the episodes from the show. There are moments where Peter does struggle, and of course some character development. Just watch the show, goddammit. You guys are not good investigators.
Hey Marcus, guess what? King Kirby shouldn't have to watch the show to find examples of character development. Since you're the one making the positive claim, you should be the one that provides the examples because the burden of proof is on you, not them.
Or attorneys, like Micro Mavi.
I'm gonna give my own thoughts on the show's adult character designs and features. Now, given just how little I know about this show and little I've seen of it...
Wait, what? What the fuck? Why are you making this video if you haven't seen a majority of episodes? You don't even know if you're right or wrong! Oh my god!
Okay, I'm just gonna ignore how this is a fucking terrible attempt at throwing salt at somebody. I'm just gonna cover your past self here. I hope you don't mind. Now, past Marcus, just because Mavi hasn't seen the show that you're referring to, that doesn't make her point invalid. Cause not only does it not invalidate any of the points, given how that doesn't make her wrong automatically, but in the context that you've given, Mavi was specifically referring to character designs. You don't need to watch a majority of the episodes to point out character designs, since that can be seen without watching a majority of the episodes. So overall, fuck you and your past self, Marcus.
Also, you can't call my video bad then just go home, because that means I win, cause you didn't do your job properly.
That was a joke. It was a joke, honey. It was a joke.
He doesn't always win every battle, and his superhero life is slowly taking over his teenage life.
Hold it.
Doll, why are you still here?
Remember when Marcus tried to counter Nick's point about Peter being used to his powers by saying how Peter is still struggling to be a superhero?
Oh.
And you said you could cover this better than me.
Hey, nobody asked for your opinion, Ness.
Good job, Marcus. Due to your inability to wait a couple of seconds before things get cleared up for you, you failed to notice how Nintendo acknowledged that Peter still struggled with being a superhero, just in ways other than his powers, making that previous interjection of yours even more pointless.
So now can we go home?
I probably only have half of the money in my account because of you. I'm getting my money's worth.
Well, I'm sorry about that. It's probably because I tuned him out, because everything that comes out of his mouth is complete garbage.
So basically, I know my point isn't valid, but I didn't hear what he said on purpose, so I win! This is not how you argue, Marcus.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
Another one of my favorite elements in the Spider-Man series is Peter trying to keep his identity a secret. As a source of drama, I've always been invested in. Sometimes a little too invested in. But in some of the movies, there's scenes where Peter's unmasked while standing on top of a building, and someone can easily see him if they just turned around or looked up. In my head, I was yelling, "What are you doing? Put your mask on! But in this show, the secret identity thing isn't taken seriously at all. Peter takes seconds to change in and out of his costume, and nearly no one questions how similar he looks and sounds to Peter, or how he's able to be invested in the problems at Horizon High despite not being a student there. Usually, Peter changing into Spider-Man is just a joke here, which completely squanders what could be a great source of drama. Because of its lack of depth in all areas, this Spider-Man is really boring to me, and most of the time, everything he says just comes off as annoying too.
Peter is a spider! He can do whatever a spider can!
Yep. That totally debunks Nick's point. It's completely relevant to his point about no drama about hiding his identity or him being a shallow character. This is how we counter criticisms of characters, people. Give a bit of background about them and move on. Brilliant!
Yeah, I should have specified more. I'm sorry about that. As I said before, Nintendo having very little knowledge about Spider-Man makes him incompetent. The whole point of the costume design, covering up his whole body, is that anyone can be Spider-Man, which people can connect to him more and see themselves as Spider-Man. That's one of the fundamentals of Spider-Man. Anyone can be Spider-Man. Including me! And the reason why no one is able to recognize his voice is because his mask filters his voice. I'm not even kidding. That's why Spider-Man has to pull up his mask whenever he needs to talk as Peter Parker on his phone. Granted, it doesn't always work, but that's how Stan Lee established it.
Except, no, that's not the case within the show. In the show, Peter's voice is not covered by any filter. Want proof? Here you go.
Oh, you want this? Come and get it! There is no more time, Ock.
So yeah, your point is completely invalid.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
Also, whenever Peter's Spider-Man, he never shuts up.
So what? You don't shut up!
Mere. That is all.
Shut up, no one asked for that.
Shut up, no one asked you. Also, if this becomes a chain, I'm gonna strangle a dick.
I know that Spider-Man is known for his one-liners during fights, but 95% of what he says isn't even funny. What?
That's because your sense of humor is on the level of Batman.
You know, these are coming off less as just funny quips and more you getting salty over him having a different opinion than you.
Wait, you just noticed this now?
Oh, I get it. You're siding with him because you only care about mature, edgy superheroes. Well, how about screw you? Go suck a bat dick while you're at it.
I jump out on you now like I was a Jawa from fucking Star Wars.
I want to understand why it's called Minecraft.
Most of these characters are only really here because they're recognizable Spider-Man characters, and almost all of them don't have any unique character traits or even unique designs.
Says the person that doesn't read the comics.
You do know that a series other than Spider-Man can have similarities to those traits or design, right? A reason for why it comes off as generic to him?
Your mommy's generic.
Guys, have you ever heard such an argument that just, inspires you? Because that's what we just heard. We heard the arguments of gods, I tell you. You not only debunked this point, Marcus, but everything in the world in general. I hope you're proud of yourself, Marcus. Keep up the good work.
A lot of the adults in particular don't have any diverse features.
Probably because you're not an artist, you fuckhead.
Does he need to be an artist? Since basic human design is something that most people probably know, since they could be born with distinct features like a circular face or square chin. Besides, he's a bloody reviewer, just like how you don't need to be a chef to critique food, you don't need to be an artist to critique design.
Oh wow! I'm getting lectured by two commentators who use someone else's artworks as graphics for their videos. Well, at least I made this, and this, and this, and this with my bare hands!
It's now time for a game of what does this point actually debunk? Alright, so the rules are simple. Each player must find out what pointing out the fact that Key and Kirby didn't make their avatars themselves due to their point. Ready, set, go. Well, that's all the time we have for today, kids. Tune in next week for the season finale.
Your mom.
Anyways, after this, Marcus just makes points similar to the ones I've already debunked, so I guess it's time for final thoughts. Wow, first time I've had final thoughts in a while. Marcus, this video was absolute fucking dog shit. It's amazing how fucking awful this was. Most of your points are either non-points, excuses, or just not understanding what Keen and Kirby are trying to say. Listen, if you want to respond to a video done on you, that's fine, but at least try to find actual problems with the video rather than making up problems as you go along, because a lot of the issues you pointed out weren't actual problems problems. And if you keep this up, then I'm sorry to say this, but I don't have much faith in you as a content creator. Hopefully you can prove me wrong, but admittedly I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. Anyways, this has been Slayer, signing out.